All right, guys, we have Mason here. So Mason is an absolute rock star. A lot in store for you guys today. So we're gonna start off. Mason, just introduce yourself. Give us a quick rundown of who you are, what got you into this business, how long you've been in there, and sort of where you're at right now. So we'll start there.
Yeah, so as Prab mentioned, my name's Mason Stepaniak. I am from Calgary, Canada. I grew up here, worked in the civil engineering space, working with a lot of different like developers and builders. And yeah, kind of started a marketing agency right at the start of the pandemic. Decided to niche down to real estate agents because we were kind of loosely related and we were always in that space. And then, yeah, in October of last year, I left the engineering role to kind of hit the agency full time, and yeah, here we are.
Love it, love it.
Mhm.
And like just for like the agency space, like how did you think about getting in? Like, do you see like an ad or something, like a Ty Lopez, or how was that?
You know what? I came across my mentor on a Facebook ad. His name's Danny Tran, and he was more just focused on like the general agency. And then yeah, after that we kind of niched down to real estate.
Nice, nice. So, yeah, I mean, like, talk me through that. Like, so I know, of course, like you were in like REMC Launch, and
Mhm.
before that, you were already in the real estate space. So, what made you choose real estate? Because I know that's like it's one of those niches that's definitely. I mean, every niche in and of itself is difficult, but a lot of
Mhm.
people haven't like really cracked that real estate space yet. From
Mhm.
a lot of perspectives, fulfillment or like even client acquisition. Tell me what got you into that space in the first go around.
I think because long term, I always knew I wanted to get my real estate license and get into real estate investing. So the way that I had it in my mind was that like, okay, if I can deliver for my clients, I can deliver for myself and essentially plug myself in as a real estate agent. So that's kind of where that stemmed from.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was sort of the same thing too. I mean, like I always knew, like I think most people growing up, it's like real estate's a way to make money, and like I don't really know how real estate works now. Like I see even more sides of real estate. Like the real estate, just like the industry in general. Like I know most people think
Mm.
real estate is like agent or investor, but now there's like there's like this marketing agencies. You can have consulting. You can have a software company or SaaS. You can do like there's people doing agent attraction. That's
Agent
like
attraction, yeah.
so many different ways to make money in real estate. It's crazy. And
Mm.
I think it's just about aligning yourself with the highest leverage activities in it. And then, yeah, I think we'll get into that shortly too. It's some exciting stuff. But so yeah, I'll walk me through, like where were you at sort of before? I know you're like REMT Launch is like basically, we help people start and scale real estate marketing businesses, not really agencies, but just marketing businesses in general. Because a lot of new offers were being added in. But like tell me a little bit more about where you were before getting into REMT Launch, and like how did you find out about REMT Launch?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we were in the agency space, but we were finding it really difficult to really start to scale and move the needle forward because the I guess the challenge, and I'm sure you know this with real estate marketing, is the sales process with real estate is so long. So it's really hard to get a client a quick win right away without like signing them on without having the ability to sign them on without a super long contract. It's really hard to get those results and keep that retention, right? So when we were looking at reframing our offer a little bit, I was in the process of getting my real estate license, and I knew that I wanted to get into like the coaching and consulting space, and reframe it where, okay, no, we're now approaching it more from an educational and coaching and support aspect instead of a done for you type service where again we're it's a constant battle of putting out fires, right? So that's what we're kind of do. We're just kind of looking to make that shift and kind of more approach it from the coaching and support.
Definitely. I think, yeah, like even within REMT Launch, there's like people from all different levels. There's like that's why it's called REMC. The C stands for consultancy because, for us, like we were in the space for a long time. We did the agency thing, and then we like productized our service, and we went into pure play consulting, which is, for those people watching, it's just like selling courses really and we're selling it to real estate agents. Basically, we took our marketing agency service and like made into a product, a digital product. And that's how we started actually making a lot of profit, because I think in the agency space, people get in and then they realize that, yeah, I can make revenue, but then the profit's not there. And even if you are able to get profit, it gets really, it definitely becomes a headache, right? And what we realized was like, we were actually like a lot of our client results, even the agency space, were coming more from being a coach and consultant and trainer, as opposed to actually just like, being a done for you lead gen service provider. So that's how the whole thing started. And like, I know you probably saw the ad, it's like, a lot of people resonated with the fact that they can get into coaching consulting from the agency space. I think you were one of them. Now we have like people that like, I mean, in the end of the day, you still got to do done for you for some time. And then ideally over time, you should be pivoting to a done with you. Because in the end of the day, like for me, my experience in the space, and I'm sure you've seen, is like, that's where you actually make the profits. And yeah, I think, we can definitely talk about that too. It's like making profits. Let's actually talk about that. I mean, when it comes to this space, right? I'm sure like having a high back end fixed costs. Like, were you guys doing like the tech, like ISA stuff back in the day?
Yeah, we were doing like ISA, video content. Like we had a whole creative team, and yeah, like it was a full service program. So it was we ended up finding like a lot of because we were signing our clients on to a high ticket at such a short time period, the profit margins were essentially minimal, right? So that's essentially why we decided to make that pivot.
Yeah, that's what we saw too. Like in the agency space, like, yeah, we were making profits, but like a lot of the profits were coming from either outbound or like a couple of renewals, and then of course like from the actual ads. Like, because the back end cost was getting quite high because of done for you, it wasn't like ideal. Like sometimes you'd make like 300K in a month, and like you should be ideally getting into the 150K range for profit, but it wasn't there, right? So like we realized that like consulting model, like at its limit, we were just having like hundreds of clients with one backend employee. And it's funny because when we went to the consulting model, we had less churn, not less churn, sorry, we had less refunds, we had less disputes, less escalations. It was just a general better model. Like it was, I had a belief in my mind that I couldn't get into it. So tell me a little bit more about you guys right now. So you guys are doing pure done with you, correct?
Yeah, so I'll say we frame it as a done with you service, but like you said, sometimes you have to step in and get things done for the clients just to help support them to move things forward. But yeah, we are predominantly a done with you program.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, in the end of the day, like I think that the biggest thing is like there's no such thing as done with you, done for you. It's just a solution. And like even when we sold, right, we never actually really mentioned explicitly that it was like done with you. We just said we help you.
Yeah.
And that was what we found that worked. So like now that you guys are in this, consulting model, from here, what we talked about before the call, so you guys have been just like, about 4 months or so, about 23K in ad spend, 130K out, right? That's some really good returns, right? I think the question that you guys are probably asking is like, how can we spend 23K a month, or like how can we spend 23K a week? Like that's sort of the question that you want, of course, while remaining profitable. So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, is that sort of what you guys are seeing right now, 23K in, 130K out, ballpark?
Yeah, like we're looking at the numbers here. Yeah, we're still kind of getting about between a 5 to 10x return on our ad spend. The challenge that we're starting to have now, because since we joined REMC, like we've onboarded 2 sales reps, we have an appointment setter. I guess the last 2 months, April and May, it was all about onboarding the closers and getting them familiar with the industry, the process, the offer, and all that stuff. But now we're at a point where they both closed some deals. They're doing really really well. And now it's just a matter of keeping their calendars full. Like
Yeah.
they're getting busier, and it's a matter of kind of keeping up with the demand now.
Yeah, that's gonna be like, I mean, that's one of the highest leverage things to do, keep the counters full. I mean, a lot of ways to do it. Of course, ad spend is one of them, but like, you want to always ask yourself the question like, how can we get more out of the current ad spend, right? So can we hire more setters? Can we start doing text blasts? Can we, like even small things, like this is like where like the role sort of changes, like, you know, for example, like even small things, like is your email deliverability, like, you know, like I did the stats on my active campaign the other day and I looked at it, is like the highest deliverability, the highest open rate was at 3 p.m. So like,
Mhm.
and then all of our emails, like it would have forward or re with the subject line with the first name in it, and that was the highest open rate. So like doing tests like that, it just like the question should be like, how can I get more of the current ad spend as opposed to scaling ad spend? I think that's going to be definitely the thing. But that's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, like 23K, and that's over a span of 4 months, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in the beginning, I mean, definitely it's going to be having to reinvest the profits back into the ad spend, but like I think that it's exciting part because, you know, when you start scaling. Now my question is as well for you. Like what's like the, so I mean, I'm sure by the end of the year, I don't see why you guys wouldn't be spending at least 23K a month, if not way more. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean 50, 60K a month or more, right? On ad spend. So tell me a little bit more about like what's the long-term plan for you? Like, is this a company that you want to exit? Is this a company you want to start doing agent attraction with? Let's chime on that a little bit.
Yeah, so when we started, when I was at the point where I was trying to, start to scale and get out of the sales seat, I told my team like our goal is to make the like our consultancy, the agent initiative, a very comprehensive program that encompasses more than just real estate marketing, but the whole aspect of having a real estate business, right? From the marketing, the branding, the sales, negotiations, and then agent attraction and team building, right? So since we've or I guess since I've kind of taken a step back from the sales seat, our focus has been like finding more course material to help support our clients. We're actively looking at adding on more coaches to support our clients in different aspects as well. To really make this as comprehensive of a program to get our clients results. And like as I alluded to, like I just partnered with EXP as well. So there definitely is going to be a agent attraction element to it, and having it as either a value add for the downline, or like having a cost, like a reduced cost for the agents that do come in under me.
Definitely, yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, there's always should be a pursuit. Like I always realize too, and Alex Ramosi says this, right? And it's like if you don't have a compounding vehicle in your business, you're gonna
Mhm.
end up working forever, right? So like because with the marketing business and like I think, you know, really people start off with the marketing business, but we really, for us with Generation Leads with the DIA program, we were really like a coaching training company. So
Yeah.
that's what the agents really need. And I think everyone gets into that. And like I think it makes a lot of sense for that. And I think, you know, for you guys, I always have the discussion, but like are you guys building MRR at the moment? With like no, I know most people use Go High Level in this space, but are you guys building the MRR?
Other than high level, I would say not at the at not right now, but yeah, it's definitely something that we're looking at integrating in the future. Just having a monthly downsell, or having more of a like a B2C type offer.
Yep. I think there's also a potential, like I was just thinking about this the other day. It's like so like you have that like monthly recurring white label SaaS. And I mean,
Mhm.
like, for example, I always give the example, like we have like 700 something agents, right? So like you can do the math on like if $97 a month is adding up, not only does that add in extra profits, but it literally adds in enterprise value. So should you want to sell your company one day,
Yeah.
millions, that's what they're gonna look at. But also, you know, within the white label SaaS, since you're gonna, you know, have coaching calls already with these agents, right? I mean, yes, you have your high ticket stuff. And the way I look at high ticket is like, yes, it's a really good profit center, but it almost in a way like offsets the cost of agent attraction type of thing.
Hmm.
You're getting paid to attract per se, but
Yeah.
like you can build the high level internal affiliate system. So like when people are paying you $97 a month, what can actually happen from that is like your people in your community can start attracting people into your infrastructure and they also pay you $97 a month. And
Mhm.
then there's like that compounding effect they're happening, right? So like, because you're gonna have the coaching calls regardless, right? And your coaches are gonna come in and do that. Maybe they're from EXP, whatever it is. And I don't even want this call just to be just only XP, but it's just a model that you can explore. It's like people can start coming in to your coaching calls that are don't buy the high ticket necessarily, but they can just listen to the coaching calls,
Yeah.
and that for $97 a month, and then they can then refer more people and get 40% recurring. So then that starts compounding on its own. Like there's a lot of potential, I think, in real, like just in general real estate marketing, and like it's almost become the shiny object because you can start thinking about the ways to monetize, right? So
Yeah.
have you thought about any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, because I've had active conversations with a lot of the like the high attractors at EXP, and they're essentially doing exactly what you're talking about and adding those calls, multiple calls throughout the week, but at a low ticket, for a newer agent that's just looking for some information, but also has that affiliate option, so they make money off of referring that out. And like you said, it just compounds at that point.
Yeah, so like with that, with the business, then you start having multiple compounding vehicles, right? And
Yeah.
like even for us, like that's sort of like where we're heading. Like I know with Jazz's YouTube channel, like he gained 1,000 subs in a week, pretty much almost, right? So it's like starting to get to that compounding level, because I think that most people in this space, and like even if we just take a step away from real estate, like marketing related services, like there's not much compounding happening, and that's what you see. Like the way I look at this kind of thing is like, if you're a marketer, because there's so much potential with marketing in general. If you're still like working past that 10-year mark, then something went wrong. You could have been doing better. Unless like you're using marketing to like fund another compounding vehicle. It's a whole different discussion. Because you got a lot of the big name marketers, and if they're still in the game, there's something that went wrong there, right? So like oftentimes I see that there's not a compounding vehicle or compounding vehicles, multiple of them, right? So that's why I really shifted this year to like exploring those. So some really good points so far. Where do you see yourself at the end of the year, like in terms of monthly recurring revenue, or not just to say monthly revenue in general?
Yeah, so we're like, if all goes well, we're on track to have our first 50K month this month. If not, it'll probably be next month. And then our goal is to be at our first 100K month by the end of the year. And then like I guess on the contrary as well, like I'm just in the process of getting onboarded with EXP and all that happening as well. So it's going to be a busy second half of the year, but yeah, come December, January, I think we're going to be in a really, really good spot.
100%. And I think that like this is awesome, because like 23K, 130K out, like I think that the main focus should just be to scale while remaining hyper profitable, because one of the biggest mistakes that like even me and Jazz made is like, for example, like I think the 1 month before we spent like 70K, and it was a really good month, and then we increased the ad spend the next month by 100K, so we went like 160K in ad spend.
Mm-hmm.
And like we broke even and just made a little bit profit that month, and it was really dumb, because like too many demos, too many leads, and then like so much inefficiency. So like definitely scale slow, be hyper profitable, and
Mm-hmm.
always ask the question like, how can I extract more out of this ad spend? Because I know you guys are dealing with ad spend right now, but like in the future there will probably reach a point where like of course ad spend gets expensive, and then there's always things you can do, like ticket price can be raised, right? And like exploring other channel partners, or outbound, right? Have you guys done outbound recently?
No, we haven't explored it as much because we've been getting good results on the Facebook, or sorry, like on the paid ad side. But like yeah, one thing we were actively doing as well is upping our content production. So we brought on a content director, and she's kind of been helping support getting the email marketing out there, getting the YouTube videos out there, the short form videos out there. So yeah, because we recognize like how essential it is to attract people through those organic mechanisms. And I think in doing that, like that's where you can start to see a lot of like you said, kind of getting the most out of your ad spend and increasing your conversions.
Yeah, we saw that. Like we saw it with, of course, my stuff right now. Like I've been posting a lot of content on my Instagram, and we're doing Instagram shout out. So like it's a different, it's in the end of the day, it's sort of like still building an audience. But like Jazz had a video on YouTube. It got 1,000 views in a week and like
Mm,
10,000 views, sorry. And it literally gained 1,000 subs in a week. And
mm,
he had 100 DMs on Instagram. So like it's crazy. And it's the best thing about it is that because it's compounding, it continues to grow on its own. All of his other videos are now starting to compound at their own efforts. So it's like
yeah.
YouTube is like we talk about a lot, super high leverage. So
Mhm.
this is some really good stuff. I think you guys are like gonna crush it this year. I think that the goal should definitely be like multiple 6-figure months, taking home 6 figures a month. I can see you guys definitely doing it. A lot of assets in place for you guys, case studies and everything. Um,
Mm,
so I know a lot of people in our program that are sort of on the fence, right? Now you got the people that are like 9 to 5s, right? That are like just want to make an online business, make 10K a month. You've also got the people that are like existing agency owners that are not in the real estate space that want to make money because they want to get a proven niche. You also got people that are in the real estate space struggling. What's your tip for sort of all of them? I mean, all of them are here in the end of the day to make more money and they want to do it through a real estate marketing business. So tell me, like, what's that one piece of advice you give to them?
yeah, I think that the thing that I've come to realize is that there are a lot of real estate agents that need help, right? And we didn't start to realize that until we kind of switched to the consultancy structure, right? So I would recommend, like, definitely there's a huge need in the real estate space for having that support in marketing and in branding and whatever it is. And like we discussed, there's so many, there's a lot of different ways to make money in the real estate industry, not just by buying and selling houses or by, you know, selling lead generation. You know, when you really dive into it and you look at all the problems that exist in this industry and how you can come in and help support agents and, you know, buyers and sellers. If you do get your real estate license, you're going to see a lot of success in doing so.
100%. And like, I'll add on to that too. It's like, I've sort of like one of my mentors told me too, is like, it takes about like, quote unquote, like takes about 10 years to like really, quote unquote, make it as
Mm,
like, like a couple $1 million, after tax. Like, and oftentimes like the trajectory is like slow. And then all of a sudden, the last couple of years, everything compounds in terms of your knowledge and you make a lot of money. So just in the real estate space alone, like for me, it was actually in the latter years. Let's say I've been in the space for about 6 years now, right? Like it was in the latter years where I actually started making real money. And it's just because you got to enter into an industry, learn the ins and outs, and then like don't swap niches and don't hop around, because in the end of the day, you
mm,
get so much nuances by being a part and just listening to customers. So like, for example, right, there's so many like things, like there's a company that's called Sisu, right? And I think they're part of Y Combinator. I'm not exactly sure, but like they like do data software for real estate teams, right? Like it's like unique. And like you start getting these insights and then you start seeing gaps in the market. Like for example, you're getting agent traction and everything, right? It's like probably, a couple 100,000 people that do agent traction all across the world in different
mm,
brokerages, right? And then you can start looking at the gaps within agent attraction. And then if you want to build a software around, if you ever want to go that route, then you can start looking into that, right? Like for example, Hyros and Alex Becker, like he saw a gap, with the ad tracking, right? So like there's so many different industries and sub-industries within real estate that you can start to solve a problem. And at the end of the day, like what I've always been a proponent of is like solve a problem for people to have money, and then you're gonna make money. You're gonna make a reciprocal of that money you create for them. So I think there's a lot of stuff that can be done, and we can go on for hours and hours, right? So, apart from that, like, what's like your biggest tip for success? I mean, anyone that's sort of struggling right now.
I think, and my sponsor through EXP, he explained this to me, but the I would say it's not always trying to go for the shiny object, but just doing the simple things well, right? That's the biggest key that I've found, and just being consistent, showing up every day, you know, getting feedback from your clients, getting feedback from your team, and just keeping the ball moving forward, doing the high producing activities. And yeah, we've found, like, even over the last 4 months, that just in doing that, it just starts to compound.
Most definitely. Yeah, it's the simple things that do well. Like, I mean, even for us too, and everything, it's like whenever you overcomplicate it, like in the end of the day, it just in business is very simple, right? Like, you get a way to get customers, you get a way to fulfill the customers, and if the customers never leave, then you will win in business, and you will make a, and like a certain insurmountable amount of money. It's crazy, right? So like, um,
Mhm.
it's all pretty simple if you look at it. Now, for anyone that's on the fence about joining REMT Launch, what's a couple of words of wisdom from you?
I would say definitely do it, guys. Like, when we joined REMC, like, we were doing a whole business shift. And yeah, you and Jazz and the team did a great job in supporting us in doing so, and keeping up with us with making sure things are moving forward, and doing it profitably, right? So yeah, I would say, if it's an investment that you're considering doing, just do it.
Awesome, man. Well,
Mhm.
this is some great stuff. I'm sure people will enjoy the interview, Mason. Thank you so much for your time and
Of course.
crushing it.
Okay. Thanks, Bob.